Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Craig and this is Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys are all having a good day out there, a good weekend. Finally Friday. Time to get some beers going. I'm drinking this now because I'm fat. So it's only got 2.6 grams of carbs. I'm trying to lose little bit of weight, so I'm trying to cut down on the carbs a little bit. So this isn't bad. Definitely not an IPA. That's for sure. So, all right, so we're back to it. I'm gonna part 5 of the dumpster, my world famous dumpster find. I went through the list, found every record, see how long this was gonna take, and let me see here. I think I want to say, yeah, there'll be 13 parts of this. I'm at part 5, so we're starting to get into the what I would consider the meat of this, I guess. The stuff I've shown in the last 4 parts. Isn't necessarily a bunch of stuff I listen to a whole lot, but we're going to start getting into more of it now. So, well, we'll just go ahead and you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll just get started. So, let me see in my notes here. All right. We're going to start with this. This is AC/DC's High Voltage, Japanese pressing from 1980. So, it's from Atco Records. The album originally came out in 1976. And I do have my other copy of High Voltage is the Australian press, but that was not one of the dumpster finds. That's just one I've had forever. So this is what a lot of people consider the American version of it. Japanese press. Nice obi right there. There's the inner sheet that came with it. And, boy, man, I'm having a hard time over here today getting my fingers to work. And, yeah, it's on Atco Records. This cool old Atco logo on there. Nice and shiny, of course. So that was a good one to find because the only other High Voltage I had was the Australian version. Actually, mine's from New Zealand. Different track listing, slightly different track listing. So it was cool to have that, to not have to buy the other one. All right, next up, more AC/DC. This is If You Want Blood. Japanese pressing, obviously, and this is from 1978. So that would make it a OG Japanese press. 78 is when this album actually came out. I like this one a lot. Riff Raff, Hell Ain't a Bad Piece of Me, Bad Boy Boogie, The Jack, Problem Child. Just killer stuff. That's just side 1. Then it's got a whole lot of Rosie, Rock and Roll Damnation, High Voltage, Let There Be Rock and Rocker on here. This album is killer through and through. This is like a greatest hits of the Bond era, for sure, right there. This one's inner sleeve. There's the Japanese side. There's the English side, black with white letters. Kind of a cool picture of Angus right there. And this one is on Atlantic. I guess Atco and Atlantic are kind of the same thing. This is, your old school, green and orange, green, white, and orange Atlantic label on there. Boy, things do not want to work for me today. So, yeah. It was If You Want Blood. Okay, next up, another Japanese pressing, AC/DC's Highway to Hell. If you look over my shoulder, over here, right there, that was the copy of Highway to Hell I had. And when I found this one, I framed that one. I'm going to play the Japanese press over my American repress. So, and what can be said about Highway to Hell? I mean, this is the album that really broke them worldwide. Just great stuff. Bond's last record, unfortunately. Not that there's anything wrong with Brian, but I do prefer the Bond era of AC/DC, and you could see where this band was going, and it was going to blow. They were going to be giant. I think with Back in Black, if Bond would have sang on that, it still would have been just as big as it turned out being there. That Obi was loose, wanting to fall off of there. Don't want that. Don't want to lose that. And there's the Japanese side of the inner, and there's the English side there, and that is also on the green Atlantic label. Shiny as always. Just, I mean, all of these I found were like, most of them were like brand new. So, I mean, just amazing. All this stuff was found here. Next up, this is Back in Black. This is a 1980 U.S. pressing, Atlantic pressing, specialty press. It's got the, you can't really see that on there, but it's all raised up. It's got, you know, I don't know if they're all like that, but this one's got the, you can feel it. I don't know what the term is, but they're raised lettering on there. So, I mean, and this is, you know, Back in Black, what can be, got a little bit of ring wear you can kind of see on that, to be expected with an all black album cover like that. Inner sleeve, still in it. And that is on Atlantic, and that is on this, with this label here. So, mint condition, of course, as they all are, or near mint or whatever. So yeah, that was the AC/DC that was in that collection. There was actually one more. There was a copy of Flick of the Switch, and I kind of made a mistake. I already had a copy of Flick of the Switch, and I traded to a friend of mine, like, I'll give you, you know, I'll give you a copy of this if you give me a copy of that. And I sent him the Flick of the Switch, and I should have kept the OG press. Instead, I kept the repress. So, yeah, there was also a Flick of the Switch in with that pile too. All right, next up, let's get another sip of this. Aerosmith's Greatest Hits, 1980 U.S. Pitman Press. There's your track listing on the back. I mean, this one, we all kind of know this, you know, the red Aerosmith Greatest Hits album. There's the inner sleeve that was with it. And on the red Columbia label. Now, there's something about this record. I never had this on vinyl until I found this one. I had this on tape though, and I swear my cassette had a copy, had a 10-inch record on it. And I don't know if that's something I'm just misremembering or not, but I swear that cassette had 10-inch record, and it looked just like this. It was the red with the white, but the track listing seems pretty much the same. This is Dream On, Same Old Song and Dance, Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, Last Child, Back in the Saddle, Draw the Line, Kings and Queens, Come Together, and Remember Walking in the Sand. And I swear my cassette also had a 10-inch record. So I don't know if I'm just misremembering or not. Like I said, there's the Columbia label. You know, I don't know if it's redundant to keep pulling them out and showing you how shiny they are or not. If I'm, you know, just wasting my time or... Next up, Alice Cooper Special Forces. 1981. This is an Australian press on Warner Brothers. Let's see. Yeah. 1981 Warner Brothers. Yeah, this is an Australian press. There's the track listing on this. I don't necessarily care for this record that much, honestly. I prefer kind of some of the older stuff, but, you know, it's not a bad listen at all. It's on the Warner Brothers with the tan label. No inner sleeve with that one, so I don't know if it had an inner sleeve, but this sleeve's got the Warner logo on it, so maybe that was the sleeve that it came with. I don't know. But yeah, not one of my favorite Cooper albums. You know, that was the first Alice Cooper I ever had, because I never owned any Alice Cooper records until that. And now, you know, I do have some of the older Alice Cooper band stuff, and you guys have all seen, I've been showing that. I picked that up within the last year probably. So, all right, next up from 1976, Angel, hell of a band. Japanese pressing, obviously, and this is on Casablanca Records. Punky Meadows is in this band, and honestly, I don't know which one he is, and you can't see. There's another person here, obviously, but the obi does not necessarily want to move. You know how they get sometimes. So, like I said, kind of a little bit of scuffing there, but not too bad. Oh, hey, look, I got the obi to move. There's the other side. There's the other guy. I've played this a couple times. It's kind of cool. They're a good band, honestly. They're a hell of a band. Okay, let's see here. There's the insert that came with it. It's got that. This one opens up. It's got all of this Japanese writing here, with English and Japanese kind of at the same time there. And there's the back of that. And it is, like I said, that was from 1976, so it has got the classic Casablanca. This one's the Casablanca record and film works. So, but yeah, this is a pretty cool record. I do enjoy that. It's the only Angel I have, though. Okay, next up, this is Bachman Turner Overdrive, the very best of Bachman Turner Overdrive. There's your track listing, is listed on the front. This is a German press, and there's your back of it right there. And there's no year on this. I can't find a year on Discogs, but the notes say somewhere in the early 80s or whatever. It's on Fontana Records. Like I said, this is a German press. And it's old enough, it says made in West Germany, because back before Germany reunified and the wall was still up, everything said made in West Germany. And yeah, it's on. I dig this Fontana label right there. But yeah, it's a good album. I mean, Bachman Turner Overdrive's a great band. This is a great track listing. You ain't seen nothing yet, and it's got, She's a Devil and stuff like that. I mean, the main hit on here is You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. That's one that still gets radio play to this day. But yeah, it's a pretty cool record too. I enjoy that. All right, next up. This is Blackjack. This is self-titled. I have no idea how many albums this band actually put out. It's cut on the side here like this. It kind of looks like a deck of cards. See, if you hold it just right, the cut makes it look like you're holding a deck of cards. And as soon as I saw this in there, I was like, holy shit, that's a Blackjack. This has Bruce Kulick from Kiss. This is one of his first things he did, and the lead singer on here is, there you go. On vocals is Michael Bolton, and you got Bruce Kulick on guitar, Sandy Gennaro drums, and Jimmy Vaz something or another. The obi is in the way. It was cool to have as a Kiss fan to find this, but honestly, musically, it's not necessarily my style, but it is cool. There's your insert right there. It's also cut so it kind of looks like a deck of cards, and there's your English side on there right there, and it's on Polydor, so you got the red Polydor label right there. All right, next up, this This is a Blue Oyster Cult's Fire of Unknown Origin, Japanese press. Oh, by the way, the blackjack was from 79. This is from 81, and on CBS Sony. I love the cover of this record. And there's the back of it right there. Burning for You's on here. Heavy metal. Besides that, off the top of my head, I wouldn't know any of these songs, but I have listened to this. This is a really, really good record. But yeah, the big hit on here is Burning for You. We all know that if you've been around any time in the last 40 plus years. It was a big hit, but very cool album cover. There's the insert right there. It's got that on there. It also opens up. Got all this stuff there. Technically, this is the front. This is the back, but that's very cool looking. And it is on CBS Sony, the red label on there. Said another shiny, no scuffs. I mean, it's amazing that these were just in a dumpster. You know, it really blows my mind still to this day. And the more episodes of this I do, the more my mind is blown and the luckier I feel. And now here's Blue Oyster Cult's. This is Extraterrestrial Live. There's the back of that. This opens up like this. Live record. Double. Let's see. This has got Door for the Reaper, Extraterrestrial, Godzilla, Burning for You, Roadhouse Blues is on here, which is kind of cool. Very cool live record from Blue Oyster Cult. And that is still on the CBS, or actually Columbia, sorry. And yeah, Columbia, see? Those labels almost look the same as the other one. And this one's a U.S. press from 1982. And there's the other one there. So yeah, that was a U.S. press from 1982. There was other Blue Oyster Cult in there. There was another live record, On Your Feet, On Your Knees. And one more. And I've sold those since then. In the Purge I did 6 months ago, or however long that's been. I got rid of On Your Feet, On Your Knees because I didn't really like it because it's early Blue Oyster Cult and I didn't know any of the music. And I got there was a couple other ones and those went by the way when I did my Purge. So, yeah, so that kind of shows more of the taste of what Mike was into, who's the person whose collection this was that I found. I told that in episode 1 of how I know what his name is and everything else. So anyway, that's it for this episode. Like I said, this is going to be, I got 8 more to go, right? 8 plus 5 is 13. So yeah, there's 8 more to go before I get done. That way these aren't an hour long or whatever. So I hope you guys are enjoying this and seeing what I did find and what spurred this collecting thing. Like I said, when I found all those records, I only had probably 100 in my collection. And I was just buying some stuff that I enjoyed. And I wasn't really I was starting to get bigger into it because I had more money. We had just moved to Tennessee and I didn't really know anybody. So I was spending more time with my record collection. And I just sold my house and paid off my bills and had, more money in the bank than I'd ever had in my life. So I was able to start buying more stuff. And then I found this and it just set everything off. So the reason I'm sitting here talking to you today is because I found all these records in that dumpster that day. So yeah, so I'm just going to keep going. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheers to you all. Have yourself a beer. Be safe this weekend. And I will talk to you all later, man. Have a good one, guys.